to think you're in control, right? I mean, of course you do. But what if I told you that right now, your brain is doing a bunch of weird, kind of unsettling things completely without your permission? It's time we pull back the curtain on that. See, this is our default setting as humans, this feeling that we are the ones steering the ship, that we are consciously in command of our lives. Makes sense. I mean, these are the things that define who you are. They feel like your choices, made on purpose, with you at the helm. But what if that's not the whole story? Yeah, here's the uncomfortable truth. There's this powerful hidden system running in the background, kind of like an autopilot, that's making moves without ever checking in with you first. Let's dive into the first piece of evidence. So first up is this weird fact that your body often leaps into action before your conscious mind even realizes there's a problem. You know that split second you feel like you got superhuman reflexes, right? Like you just tapped into the matrix? Well, the reality is actually even cooler. What's happening here is something called a reflex arc. So the signal from your hand that the glass is falling doesn't waste time traveling all the way up to your conscious brain for approval. Nope, it takes a shortcut through your spinal cord, which immediately sends back the command to catch it before you even knew it was happening. So that weird, delayed, whoa, how did I do that feeling? That's just your conscious mind playing catch up. Your body already handled it. Now, that instinct to act happens on a much larger scale too. Which brings us to our second point, your brain's silent scanner. Think of it like a 24/7 security guard you never even knew you hired. You weren't consciously looking around, you were doom scrolling or texting. Yet, some internal alarm just went off. Coincidence? Not a chance. That gut feeling you get, it's not magic. It's your ancient survival programming kicking in. Your amygdala, that's the brain's little threat detection center, is constantly scanning everything in your periphery. It's picking up on tiny movements, little shifts in posture, the direction someone's eyes are pointed, all stuff you don't consciously notice. By the time that little alarm bell rings in your head, your subconscious has already filed a full report. All right, number 3. Now, this is one you might actually appreciate. Your brain doesn't just clock out when you go to bed. It gets to work. We've all been there. You beat your head against a wall trying to solve a problem, get absolutely nowhere, and then you wake up and the solution just pops into your head. That isn't just about being well rested, it's an active process. Think of it this way. While you're sleeping, your brain is running diagnostics. It's defragging all the messy data from the day, reorganizing it, and testing out new connections. You think you're offline, but really, your brain is busy debugging your life's code. And that brings us to number 4, a concept that might make you question how present you really are in your own life. It's a classic, and honestly, a slightly chilling experience. You just performed a complex and potentially dangerous task, driving a car, while your conscious mind was who knows where. So how is that even possible? The scientific term is automaticity, and it's really just your brain being super efficient. I mean, why waste precious conscious attention on a task you've done 1,000 times before? It just delegates the whole job to your subconscious so you can think about other things. And that leads to this really unsettling realization. Because of this efficiency, for a huge chunk of your day, the you that you think of as yourself, well, it simply isn't at the controls. Okay, number 5. This one gets into the almost ghost-like connection between smells, feelings, and memories. Think about how a normal memory works. You see something, and that information gets processed through logic and context. But a smell? It doesn't follow the rules. It completely bypasses all that rational stuff and takes a direct, high-speed elevator straight to your brain's emotional core, the limbic system. That's why a random whiff of something can suddenly hit you with this powerful wave of emotion you can't even explain. And what this really means is that the feeling can stick around long after the specific details are gone. Your brain stores these emotional fingerprints that can be triggered by your senses, completely bypassing your logical mind. And finally, number 6. This might be the creepiest one of all. Your brain, it literally makes things up. This is so incredibly common. That phantom vibration in your pocket tells us something really deep about how we actually perceive reality. You see, your brain is a prediction machine. It absolutely hates being surprised. So based on past experiences, it's constantly guessing what's going to happen next. And sometimes that guess is so strong that you actually feel it, whether it's real or not. Your brain predicted the vibration, so you felt it. So let's just recap real quick. Your brain reacts before you do. It scans for threats without you knowing. It solves your problems while you're asleep. It drives your car for you. It holds on to emotions you can't explain. And it even makes you feel things that aren't there. Which leads to one pretty big question. Seriously, if all of this stuff is constantly happening in the background, influencing how you feel and what you do, where does the you think you know actually fit into the whole picture? And maybe that's the real takeaway here. Maybe you're not just the thinker, the one in charge. Maybe you're also the observer, sitting on the deck of a ship, just watching this vast, mysterious, and incredibly powerful system do its work. Definitely something to think about.